Brosplay. Welcome back. I normally turn the lights on in the recording studio, we'll call it, for fun. So this is really weird. There's like two screens on the outside of the screen we're watching, and they keep changing, and they're very distracting. You don't have to turn yours off. That's not what I meant.
Oh, I needed to turn mine off. It was very distracting.
Yeah, it's very distracting.
Okay, let's get some transportation in here.
Jaju.
$4,000 for a Jaju, $20,000 for an APC. That's a pretty cheap APC.
That's a very cheap. There's no way it would actually be $20,000. I can buy a little dinky car being $4,000, but there's no fucking way that APC would be 20 grand.
Yeah, I don't know who's. Oh, did I at least get my car? Oh no! Oh, none of that went well.
I love how it does this aerial shot where it shows you everything happening at the same time in slow motion. It's like
I lost $4,000 for the car. 25 grand for the air support, $1,000 for medical support, and apparently they defibrillated me right into the game. Yeah. Oh, here. Okay, so you see there's a reporter. He's filming this guy. He's just moving around. So I'll shoot, and that guy goes into game mode, but the reporter's like, oh, man, he's moving.
Oh, cool, combat.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all.
Oh, we haven't talked about it yet. I just watched Tropic Thunder again.
Ooh.
It's fucking great. It is so much smarter. There's another thing that's a smart project dressing up as a dumb project. If you don't understand parody and you don't understand what they're parodying, the beginning of that movie seems like it's a really dumb movie. It's 4 trailers for movies that the characters who are actors are in. It's giving you a background on where these actors came from and why they're in the movie Tropic Thunder. It's fucking brilliant.
It really is a brilliant movie, the way it's put together.
Yeah.
And the characters are so genius. Like, Ben Stiller can be kind of hit or miss. Or at least the movies Ben Stiller's in can be kind of hit or miss.
Did you know that he directed? I'm pretty sure he directed Tropic Thunder.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him. I mean, he seems like a smart guy. But it's just that in that movie, all of them, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., Ben Stiller, they just killed it. Who else is in that I missed?
What'd you say? Robert Downey Jr., Ben Stiller, Jack Black?
Yeah. I'm missing someone, aren't I?
I don't know the name of the rapper, but then there's also Jay Baruchel.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember him in that movie.
He plays like the nerdy guy. I connect with him because he does the things that I do that people don't like. They're walking through the jungle at one point, and he's like, I forget what he's talking about, but he's like, so the interesting thing about this video game company is that they were like totally intending on doing this, man, but it's like, you didn't even know, like, the PlayStation always had the... Oh, no, that's what he was talking about. He said that technology is often, like, if there's 2 different bits of technology that are very similar, it comes down to video game players and porn watchers are the defining factor. And the reason why the Sony PlayStation 2 or 3 had a Blu-ray player was because of porn watching or something like that.
What?
Yeah, and like I think he was saying like discs worked better because they work better for games, which is why they like discs end up being, I don't know, something like that.
And yeah, everyone else is worried about like not getting killed.
What are you talking about?
You talking about Tropic Thunder, right?
No, what he's saying is like, sorry, yeah, okay. Sorry.
So he's like talking about this in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, and then Robert Downey Jr. says, were you talking to me the whole time?
Because I was not listening to you at all.
Apparently he never broke character, even on the set of recording.
Really?
Apparently he did that the whole time, yeah.
Is that weird, like, pretending to be a black dude thing?
That's a weird thing. That's a very interesting point, and it was, you remember...
Notice no one gives him flack on it?
That's what I was going to say, is that... Remember years ago, there was this thing where a teacher dressed up as Mr. T. I talked about this on Bulletstorm, where he wore blackface and got in super big trouble. And I heard about it on Dean Blundell, and he says, nobody gave Robert Downey Jr. flack. And the interesting point was brought up is that he's playing a character who's playing a black man. There's a step in between.
It's true that he's not playing a black man.
I think it would be entirely different.
But he's also not in quote-unquote blackface.
No,
right?
'cause-
Like they've
'cause
done it in a way that it's sort of tasteful, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't know
like,
if that makes a difference.
blackface, which on its own, like the name sounds more offensive than the idea. Like it already sounds like you're giving it like a stigma to it, but it's typically done very crudely, like one tone straight across, almost as if to say like this is what I think that this person looks like.
When they used to put like white around the lips to exaggerate it.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were talking about like. Okay, yeah, sorry. Like the original was for sure racist, but the act of doing that itself isn't racist. It was the ideas behind it. It was that they were utilizing that to parody and make fun of an already subjugated group of people.
Yeah, I guess.
Holy shit!
Holy shit! I could tell that guy was driving drunk or something, right? He didn't look good in the air.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know where he was going anyway.
The funny thing was, it reminds me of this of a Family Guy flashback
Yes.
where they're talking about the helicopter pilot, the drunk helicopter pilot.
It's just flying through shit.
My favorite one is when the propellers are caught in a hydro line, so the actual like cockpit is spinning, right? The hydro line's stationary, and the whole helicopter is just going around.
That was one of the few shows, or it might have been one of the first shows to use like a 3D. No, it's not one of the first shows, but they used like a 3D rendered version of their animation for that kind of stuff. Like the helicopter flying around, or going like when for some reason Peter has like the Peter copter. That's like a 3-dimensional render to made to look like their animation style.
What?
Yeah, apparently it was like crazy technology when they did it.
And why did they do that rather than just animating it?
Because it would be harder to animate.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's actually pretty
Animators,
crazy.
Animating is like a huge part of it is about finding ways, like finding creative ways to save time, because time is money.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
because like with animation, it's like a grind. It's like
Every frame you don't have to animate.
That's why like anime is so popular, because oh my god, you busted the
I
radio.
knocked the computer onto the ground.
It came off in one piece.
Wait, what did?
The whole radio and the computer, it's like one solid piece.
I guess I already got the download.
The fuck was I talking about? Holy shit! Like I'm very tired. This is another, our new recording.
Dude, they took down their
setup.
own tower trying to get me.
Was that the alert tower?
Yeah, they
Nice.
blew up their own. Oh,
Our,
who did that?
Our new recording schedule has my
Fuck.
last day after work, and then 2 days later is my last day of time off. So the two sessions
Are opposite.
So different. I'm very tired. So every time we sidetrack, I completely lose what I was talking about.
Where we were.
It's gone.
I know where we're going, but I have no idea where we've been. Oh.
But
Yeah.
speaking of totally digressing, I'm guessing you still haven't seen Master of None
The second season?
at all?
Oh, I've seen the first season.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't tell you. Sorry, bro.
Every time I always assume you haven't seen, or you have seen stuff, and then as soon as I assume you haven't, you have.
Yeah, man, you should just always assume you're wrong. I think that's
Okay.
really, that's the
Fair.
important thing here.
Yeah.
Is
well,
that you are wrong.
I mean, it's like the thing that I always go through, and then I say that, and you're like, "Oh, dude, like give yourself more credit." And now you're actually saying that I am wrong, so now I'm gonna go ahead and give myself more credit.
Yeah, just pat yourself on the back, why don't you? Nice. Nice. He's doing it.
It hurts.
He's doing it,
My
folks.
shoulders aren't feeling
You
good.
sore?
No, I'm just not healthy or good at balance or stretching. I gotta start working out, man.
Yeah, man. It's always good to work out.
I feel good when I do it, and I'm not even doing much.
So why don't you do it?
I feel good when I do it, so why don't want to do it? I get but to do it.
It's easier when you can do it at home.
I do it at home, yeah.
Nice.
Although, if I had a gym membership, it would push me to go more often, because I'd keep reminding myself, like, fuck, right, that's right, I put money into this shit, like, I gotta go.
Yeah, you usually work out harder there too, just because like
Oh,
you're
yeah, well, I'm not
leaving to
gonna-
go do it.
I walk, too. I'm not gonna walk all the way there to be like, well, curled once.
Yeah, going.
Not that I curl.
Although
I like the heavy stuff.
squats.
Yeah,
deadlifts,
I do like squats. I don't know what it's called, where you work out your like I go up on my tippy toes while holding weights.
It's just like calf extensions.
Calf extensions. I used to be a huge fan of the cable machines until one time it let go.
What? Really?
Yeah, and you know how fucking careful I am about stuff, like how often I check stuff to make sure it works. I like double or triple check that shit, and then just fucking flew off, and I'm like, ah.
That's a hard one. Yeah,
That
that's
would've
hard
been
to
terrible,
get your trust.
man.
Yeah.
To take that in the face. I don't have money for dental.
I ain't got dental.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch how effective this fence of theirs is. And
I was really hoping on a full...
Aww.
I was so hoping for a full rotation and like a proper landing. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, the tree is kind of in our way.
May I recommend taking cover when you end up with that low health?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you may recommend it, but I will not take
Yeah.
your advice.
Yeah, duly noted.
I appreciate your input, however, will not be accepting it.
So my strategy this time is going to be, because I just ditched the vehicle thinking, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I think I should actually try and go straight through with the vehicle
Okay.
and then cut around. My goal is just to get inside the gate, but really I think I need to make it all the way to the biscuit.
Yeah.
The biscuit's too
The
far from
biscuits
the
are
basket.
important. But speaking of Master of None, second season's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
But what I like about the show is that it's consistent. I wouldn't yes, it has comedy, but I wouldn't call it a comedy. The way I would say like Tropic Thunder was a comedy. Master of None seems like the main goal is to depict this character's life, in that he's able to do pretty much everything, but in the end, really nothing makes him truly happy. He has like brief moments of happiness followed by like really awkward moments of like emptiness. And I really like that. It feels very real. He's so good with people, but people are inconsistent and it disappoints him.
It is a very deep show. It's kind of different. It's very different from everything else.
I wasn't expecting it because his stand-up is typically like, boom, pow, haha, whoa, I'm fucking white chicks. Like, it's very like antagonistic and in your face. And this show, it has this like really suave dude who is financially successful very early in life, and then he's kind of like, now what?
Yeah, that's a big question.
Like, what makes me happy? The whole first episode is in black and white. It's a very interesting stylish decision. Although it kind of bugs me because they didn't really do anything with the black and white. Black and white's a great opportunity to create atmosphere and mood using contrast. You can create a focal point way easier with black and white. It didn't feel like it did anything with the black and white, but
It was just in black and
it
white?
was just in black and white.
Sorry, what was in black and white?
First episode of the second season.
Okay.
Yeah,
The whole thing?
whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
that in
I
mind.
liked it. It's so good with characters, man. Such a well-written show.
Yeah, it was really neat. I didn't really know what to expect. I'd never really drawn the connection between the jack of all trades is the master of none.
Yeah,
I'd never connected those dots at first. I think it took me almost the whole first season.
he can do everything. He's smart. He's great with women and flirting. He's got great friends. He can do pretty much any job he goes for. He's great with his family. But there's like a part of him that's just not like, there's like something he's looking for and he doesn't know what he's looking for.
Master of none.
Yeah, and then so he's like I think the message of the show is that it doesn't matter how many things you can do if none of those things fully satisfies you, right?
Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
And it rhymes.
If you
too.
excel at everything you do, but you don't like any of the things you excel at.
That's why it bugs me when people say like, "Oh, you're really good at that. You should do that for a living." I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I just enjoy doing it the way I do it.
Yeah, and
Just
I've
let
also,
me enjoy it.
Every time I have time off, I'm like, "Oh, you gotta work on that show that you're working on, Mitch. You gotta do that thing," and then I'm just like, I don't want to do it. But then I beat myself up about not doing it, and finally the other day I just said to you, I'm like, man, I don't want to do this right now. I'm just not gonna do it. That's it. I spent so much time on it, but I'm just not gonna do it because I don't want to. I would rather work on this thing when I'm happy about working on it. And I always forget how much work I put into this show.
On a regular basis.
I do. We're now doing 2-step audio processing, and
Wait,
and
what?
and custom audio leveling.
And that's every single episode.
Every single episode. I watch pretty much every episode twice, at least.
Really?
Yeah.
It's quite an investment.
Yeah, well, sometimes I get so invested in the episode, I forget to write down a description and title, so I have to watch it again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the worst is when there's like... So I put different markers that indicate things. The green marker is like a best of moment. The red marker means this needs, like, you need to look at this again before
Pay attention
before
to
you
this.
put it out, yeah. And then yellow is like, I'm not sure. Or no, red is usually like, something needs to be fixed. Yellow is, you need to, like, look this over before it goes out. Sometimes it's like a thing I said.
Like a pay attention zone.
And by the time I get back to it, I'm like, that's not a thing I need to worry about.
You have
This fucking
to be
game.
kidding me. At least it told me what happened that time. Sorry, what was the last thing you said before the computer exploded in my face?
Sometimes I just go back to it. Like, I go to export a video and I see yellow, and I'm like, shit.
Oh.
And I go and listen to it, and it's totally tame. I think I just got over it because I finally realized that even the things I don't think are bad things to say, someone's going to take offense to.
Everyone is going to all the time. Because if you have an audience of 1 billion people, which is obviously not going to happen, but if you have an audience of 1 billion, you have to imagine some of those people are going to hate anything you say.
Well, even like Super Mega talks about it. Like they have like an average viewer base of like between 30 and 50,000. And they're like, one of those people has done this. One of those people has done this. That's a big enough group to say that you could just like pick them. You could just be like, one of them's like commit a crime. Like that's it. Like it's like there's enough people to say that's true. In 50,000 people, there's a guaranteed number of people in there that will unconditionally love or hate what you make.
Yep, a small portion.
And both of them are bad for you. You're not supposed to unconditionally feel some way about something. You're supposed to take it for what it is. A true appreciation.
And be critical of it for what it isn't.
Yes, and critical. Like I read a, it's a monologue from a movie where the guy said that as a critic, you don't put yourself in the same position as a creator. The creator puts themselves out there, while you as a critic, like are happy at seeing negative stuff, and it.
If it bleeds, it leads, even with critics.
Fuck yeah, that's a great one. But when I read that, I was like, that's not how I feel. I critique games constantly, but I am so excited to see a game that I have almost nothing to say. I have almost nothing.
But you're not a critic.
I would say I'm a huge critic of
No,
games.
but you're not a critic in the traditional stance. You don't get paid to do critiques.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you should be shooting so close to the codes, bro.
But yeah, I think the difference is that you don't get paid as a critic the same way.
Right.
You know, you're not a critic. People don't come to you to say, oh, like, I want to see what Mitchell thinks about this game. I want to see, like, what his a professional opinion is. You know, you critique games because you love games. That's why when you see one that's good, you go, awesome.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. Whereas a critic would be like, shit, I've got nothing to say. Like, what are people going to listen to?
I guess so, but maybe I want to change that. Like, the show that I'm working on is kind of a change on that. I don't really want to talk about the stuff I don't like very often. Of course I will, because I'm not going to just say, like, oh, let's keep this happy. But I want to mostly focus on the positive things. I've been majorly inspired by Super Bunny Hop, who has videos, like, going into the negative parts, but he's so good at,
Jesus. Sorry, that was...
Was that like a huge loading screen or something?
Yeah, I think it just got stuck.
Yeah, the PS2 is a little, the PS2 is definitely being pushed, I'll say that, on its hardware limitation.
Getting pushed.
He has whole videos about like the brilliance of something or how much he loves. Like the only reason why I even tried MGS3 was because he has a critical close-up that's like 25 minutes long of how good that game is in every aspect. And I never would have checked out the game. And
That's
what
the
I'm
beauty
about.
part about YouTube, right? Is anyone
Yeah.
can make anything and it can have an impact on anybody.
I love how this guy doesn't drop it off. He
Gets out
Gets out. That's so fucking funny to me.
and just hoofs it.
This is the kind of charm I'm talking about that you don't see in a lot of current games because they have so much experience. Oh, he gets in with you. That's so cute.
Why though?
I guess
guess.
to risk his life.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. It's a Russian guy going to risk his life fighting South Koreans for the Chinese. I don't know if that makes any sense.
There's a lot of things going on in this game. I've never seen that harbor before. That's cool.
Yeah, well, because normally we have to drive like peasants.
Yeah. But yeah, the I don't know, the point I had. You know,
Back to that point I was saying.
that thing I was talking about all those times ago.
Nice, that worked.
Yeah,
So what
I
was
get-
the thing you were talking about?
I get what you mean by me not being like an official critic, but I can't play a game without critiquing it. It's impossible. I immediately pick up everything about it, and I'm just like, oh, that was a bad decision. Oh, why would they do that?
And you notice things immediately too.
Oh yeah, I like unskippable cutscenes are an abomination. They're a fucking plague.
And they've been around forever.
They're in my favorite games, man.
Unskippable cutscenes are as old as gaming itself.
Ratchet and Clank, unskippable.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, they're charming, but you just stay in there, I think.
Oh, you have to stand right here.
That was it.
That was it.
All we needed
yeah,
to do?
that's what we came back here a few times for.
Nice punch. Did they surround your thing? Is that like,
Yeah, it's
planned?
almost like they know it's a strategic. Would you fucking die? There we go. That's the Russian guy who doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Yeah, because he has no beef.
What? Is that a woman?
It might have been. Or
Go back and replay that sound. I think that was a woman. Sorry, bro, but you're gonna have to replay that sound.
It's fine. I'm already doing little extra bits of work now.
Well, good. You're our editor, so get to it. Get in the editing room
Yeah,
and do hard work.
Yeah, the editing room is also the recording studio. It's the same room.
Oh, yeah, that's a little awkward. Okay.
Hopefully the show is an inspiration to people who want to do stuff like this because we're operating on a very low cost. This is my apartment that I would have anyway.
And the only cost is time cost. And if you're
Time,
not willing
yeah.
to put in the time cost, it's not going to happen anyway.
Yeah, well, you're not really that interested if you're looking at it from that perspective. but
Exactly.
We're using $30 mics on a $120 mixer. Like we're using the game capture program that comes with Elgato and a free audio recording device program called Audacity. It's better than anything I found that you could pay for. It's fucking brilliant. It's so good.
Simple setups.
Yeah.
Simple setups are really important. If you can find something that works for you and isn't too much to manage, the biggest thing is avoid an ongoing cost, I find. Like for us, you know, we're not renting any space.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one day we will, but the thing is, I feel like early on, you want to avoid. I know you have some Premiere programs that you pay for, like on a monthly basis.
Yeah, it's very small. It's like it's the cloud thing where you get all the programs. It's like $40 a month.
But at the same time, $40 a month, like if you're not able to shoulder that, it can be done other ways. It's just, again, sometimes it's time versus money. Whatever you have more of, use it.
Yeah, don't do this for money. YouTube's like voice acting. Like you have to love it.
Yeah.
Just don't get into it for money.
Yeah, and don't get into it to be adored by the masses, because maybe it'll happen, but probably not.
Yeah.
You know, when you just go by the odds. Okay, I'm gonna take this bitch down. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm just gonna get on his level. Get on his level.
Nice. That
Oh.
was surprisingly effective. Wow.
You know what? You're going down, baby. Yeah. Woo! Thank you for
This
joining
thing
us.
is about to blow, isn't it?
Oh, we went down in spectacular fashion.